Welcome back to the English class. This is the direct and indirect speech part 2. As you might remember, in the first part we had talked about the changes from direct to indirect speech, and the changes involved the punctuation also, and also conversion of tenses and pronouns. This time we are going to look further into it.
Okay.
But also remember, we had given them some homework last time.
Yes, of course.
So let's see if they have done it. This was the homework, and check if you have it. Spot the errors, the homework.
Very good.
This is the direct speech. She said, I will go to school if I feel well. Indirect changed into, she said that she would go to school if I feel well. Gabriela, sounds good. That is there. She changes from
Very good.
Will changes to would, but there is one slight mistake.
Yes, I think this one, this verb form. If I feel, if
I feel?
Yes, and the pronoun.
Pronoun also.
The
yeah.
pronoun also. So we have to say, she said that she would go to
the
school if she felt well. So this is the correct answer. Okay, very good.
The second one, let's try the second one.
Of course.
He said she is coming to discuss my problems. Be careful out here because the my refers, we should see who the my refers to.
Good.
Indirect, he said that she was coming to discuss her problem.
Good.
Some mistake again out here,
Yes, of course.
and I think it's the pronoun only.
The pronoun, yes,
What do
very
you
good.
think the pronoun should change to? Because it is about he said. To discuss.
I think his problem,
problem, of
because
course.
he is telling
Correct.
to
Correct.
someone about something. Let's see. He
Okay.
said that she was coming to discuss his problem. El a spus că venea să discute despre problema lui. Okay, Akshay. Can I take the third one? Direct.
Please, Gabriela.
Good. So we've got here the sentence in the direct speech. Maria said, I have been trying to solve the problem, but it's too difficult. Maria said that I have been trying to solve the problem, but it was too difficult. Something
Something is sounding wrong.
Yes,
Actually.
sounds wrong. Yes. What do you think? Where is the mistake, children?
Check out pronouns, tenses.
So
I think I'll go with
Here.
I. Yeah.
Good. And maybe the tense.
Maybe the tense. So
Good.
does the I become she?
Yes.
Gabriela? Okay.
Very good. Let's see. So this is the correct answer. Maria said she had been trying to solve the problem, but it was difficult. If you remember, we talked last time about conversion rules.
That's correct.
Tenses, am vorbit despre transformările din vorbirea directă în vorbirea indirectă și am spus, and we said that present perfect continuous
Changes to
past
perfect.
perfect continuous.
Correct.
Okay, that's why it had been trying. Okay, very good. Akshay, will you like to take the last one? Yes.
It's all yours, Gabriela.
Oh, okay. We will find a solution, Radu said, if we all work together. If you remember, the communication, the speech is broken here. So we've got two sentences, but in fact, it's one clause.
It's one. Yeah.
Okay. So Radu said he would find a solution if we all work together. But teacher Akshay says that it's incorrect. So,
Can I give a hint?
yes, of course.
I think the mistake is in the pronoun somewhere.
Let's see. We will, but Radu said he would. We don't have he or I there. So we become they. Changes into they. And here changes into they too.
Again. Yeah.
Okay, is it correct? Let's see.
Let's see.
Radu said they would find a solution if they all worked together. Radu a spus că ei vor găsi o soluție dacă vor coopera, vor lucra împreună. So, if you remember, okay, Future simple will find changes into would.
Would find.
Find, okay? And we, the pronoun, the personal pronoun we, changes into they. And also, present simple changes into past simple.
Past.
Okay? Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, great. Let's move on to another part of conversion in the reported speech. But first, I think before moving on into this, we need to explain a little bit. We'll try to see what modal verbs are actually. Modal verbs are special verbs actually. They go with other verbs and they usually have to deal with something like permission. May I go to the washroom? Or necessity, I have to finish my work by today.
Very
or
good.
Possibility, I can do this work if you let me. Or will in the future, if I can, I will try to do the work.
Very good.
Pay attention to this one, ought to. Ought to is just like should actually. If I say I should do the work, you can also say it as I ought to do the work by tomorrow.
Very good. Verbele modale, cum a spus și teacher Akshay, sunt cele pe care le vedeți aici. Would, might, must, have to, should, shall, could, will, may, can and ought to. Cum sunt folosite? Le folosim de obicei când arătăm necesitatea, când dorim, când trebuie, este necesar să facem ceva, posibilitatea, may, might, da? Should, când ne referăm la un sfat. You should see a doctor. You are not feeling well.
Yeah.
Okay? And will, of course, ne-a dat un exemplu. Am să te ajut. Orice s-ar întâmpla, I will help you. E ca o promisiune. Okay? And ought to, she ought to, este la fel, este echivalent cu should. Ar trebui. Okay, let's move on, Akshay, to the next slide.
Okay, let's have a look at how these modals change. Can changes into could in the indirect speech. So if the direct speech is Stefan said, I can swim.
Good.
When you change it into the indirect speech, it becomes Stefan said that he, obviously he, pronouns change, but the modal changes to could. Can changes to could.
Very good. So I changes into he and can, the modal verb, changes into could.
Into could. Similarly, Gabriela, may changes into might.
Okay.
The sentence is, he said, I may buy a house, changes to, in the indirect, he said that he might buy a house.
Very good, Akshay. So may also changes into might. May se schimbă în might. He said, I might buy a house. El a spus că poate va cumpăra, există posibilitatea să cumpere o casă. He said that he might buy a house. May changes into might.
And the next one, must changes into had to.
Very good.
So think of a sentence, my father said, you must work hard. Change into indirect, my father said that I had to work hard.
Very good. Must, trebuie. My father said you must work hard. Spune tatăl meu că trebuie să muncesc foarte mult, din greu. My father said I had to work hard. Tatăl meu spune că trebuie să muncesc mult. Da? Must changes into had to. Very good.
But just take note of this, modals that do not change, would, could, might, should and ought to. So your sentences are like this. He said, I should face the challenge. No change in the indirect speech. He said that he should face the challenge. Only change in the pronoun.
Very good. So we have to bear in our mind that these verbs would, could, might, should and ought to remain the same. Okay? So should, I should face the challenge, he should face the challenge. I would do it if I could, she would do it if she could. But we need to pay attention to the pronoun, to the personal pronoun.
That's correct.
Yes,
The
we need to
pronouns
change
change.
it. Very good. Let's move on to changes in time and place.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Changes in time and place. When we are talking in the reported speech, we usually are talking about something that happened in the past. So automatically time and place also change.
Very good.
Keep these words in mind. Now changes to then, time. Place, here changes to there. Time, ago changes to before. I saw him many years ago. He said that he had seen him many years before.
Before.
Today changes to that day, tomorrow the next day or the following day. This becomes that, yesterday the day before. These changes to those, come changes to go, remember this one.
Very good.
And next week or next month will be the following week or the following month.
Very good, Akshay. Thank you very much. Okay, let's make the interrogative simple. Okay, will I ever run out of questions? He said to his mom.
So many rules, Gabriela, so
Yes,
many
I know
rules in the
that.
reported speech. But let's try to make it as simple as possible. Gabriela, I will ask you a question at this
Yes,
time.
of course.
Do you like music?
A lot. Rock music.
Great. And if I ask you another question, Gabriela, could you tell me what time it is now?
What time it is? I don't know what time.
Okay. What I'm trying to
But
say,
I
please,
think it's
Gabriela.
3 o'clock.
It's approximately
It's approximately
about.
3 o'clock, yes.
No, we are running late. It's 4 o'clock.
Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, good.
But what I was trying to say, Gabriela, that we basically have two types of questions. One is a question where you can answer with a yes or no. So if I ask Gabriela if she likes music, that becomes a yes question.
Very good.
A yes and no question.
So, interrogative sentences. When we talk about interrogative sentences, we distinguish two types of questions. Let's see. Yes or no questions, which start with an auxiliary or modal verb to which we reply with yes or no. When we do not know the answer of the question, okay?
Yeah.
Can you solve this problem, Radu? She asked. But she doesn't know if Radu could help her. Okay, can you solve this problem, Radu? She asked.
And Radu will reply in a yes or no.
Very good.
So when
So-
it comes to these questions,
Yes.
okay, this is a yes and no question. Can you solve this problem? Please remember that you have to report these questions using either if or whether.
Or whether.
So,
Okay, let's take the example, children, shall we? She asked Radu if he could solve that problem. So we take the interrogative sentence. Can you solve this problem, Radu? She asked. And we take here, from here, the sentence and we turn it into the indirect speech.
Indirect.
Very
Correct.
good. She asked Radu if he could solve that problem. But we need to note that the question mark is not used since it is an indirect question. Ok?
Great.
Nu se folosește semnul de întrebare odată ce este, atâta timp cât este o întrebare indirectă, la vorbirea indirectă. Ok? Shall we move on?
the next type of questions are what we call the WH questions.
Very good.
And these questions can be what, when, where, why, and how also. Like this question, what are you doing? Where do you live, Claudia? These are what we call the WH questions, and when we change them, we don't use if and whether.
Very good. And I think our children are very familiar with this
With these
W.
questions.
Yes, because they start, I think, in the third grade. Începeți prin clasa a treia să învățați. Când vreți să învățați, când vreți să știți informații despre o persoană. Where do you live? When do you go to school? What book do you like? Why are you going like this? And so on. Okay? Let's move on. Let's see.
So how do we solve these questions, the WH questions? There is no if and whether. When we report these kind of questions, we do so directly. No if or whether.
Very
but
good.
Please note the changes. The teacher said, what are you doing? Not an yes and no question, a WH question. The teacher asked him what he was doing.
Very good.
Can you see any changes in this?
Can I say?
Please, Gabriela.
I think it's about word order. Am I right?
Perfect.
Este vorba despre ordinea cuvintelor în propoziție. Okay, what's happening? So here we have what are you doing, but here we have what he was doing. So you can see that there is a change here, an inversion
Correct.
of words. Okay?
Great, Gabriela. And
very good.
Similarly, the next one. Where do you live, Claudia? Why don't you try it? Where do you live, Claudia? She asked.
Of course.
She asked him.
Where?
She asked Claudia. I'm sorry. She asked Claudia.
So she asked Claudia where she lived. A întrebat-o pe Claudia unde trăiește. Where do you live, Claudia? She asked. Turns into she asked Claudia where she lived. And you can see there is an inversion of words here, okay?
Inversion. And
Very good.
The tenses also.
And the tenses, of course, and the tenses also. Okay, let's move on to commands and requests, Akshay.
And one more rule, the last one. So just a little bit of patience. Commands and requests. Well, when I talk about commands or we talk about requests, a request will be, please can you give me your book, or please can you give me some money. When these kinds of commands and requests are there, we usually report them in the reported speech.
Very good.
By using verbs such as advise, ask, beg, tell, order, followed by an infinitive. He begged him to, something like that.
Ok. So, când reproducem, ne referim la solicitări, la ordine, la sfaturi sau la avertismente, folosim astfel de verbe. Advise, a sfătui, ask, a cere, a solicita, beg, a implora, tell, a spune, order, a comanda, care sunt urmate de infinitiv, de obicei, de forma de infinitiv. Da? Dar niciodată, in negative requests or commands, use not before to. Da? Niciodată să nu le folosiți invers. Întâi not și după aceea to. Okay? Very good. Let's move on to the examples. Yes.
Alex said to him, please wait for your turn. Changes to requested. He's requesting him something. Alex requested him to wait for his turn. Talking about this negative one, Gabriela, if this was negative, Alex said to him, please don't wait for your turn, would change into Alex requested him
not to
Very good. Wait for his turn.
Not to wait for his turn. Okay? Good. The second one I'll take. The man said, sit down, be quiet. Stai jos și fă liniște. The man ordered them to sit down and be quiet. You can see the verb ordered and the verb in the infinitive form, to sit. Okay? To sit down. Okay, and the last one, Akshay, my mother said.
My mother said, don't spend all your money. She's advising me.
Very good.
So my mother advised me not to spend all my money. The
all
negative
my money.
Form.
Very good. Mama m-a sfătuit să nu îmi folosesc toți banii. Very good.
So how exactly are you planning to stop this weather?
Oh, I am going to talk to my sister. To my sister.
Impale. I've been impaled. Gotta climb mountain. know how to climb mountains.
Says who?
What are you doing?
I'm going to see my sister.
You're gonna kill yourself. I wouldn't put my foot there.
You're distracting me.
Or there. How do you know Elsa even wants to see you?
All right,
But, oh, come on. It's a palace made of ice. Ice is my life. Ice is my life. Bye, Sven.
You too, Olaf.
Me?
Just give us a minute.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We've got some bibliography here because all the things, all the resources we have used so far are taken from the internet, okay? So we are very grateful for these resources, and we wrote down here. We can see also that the two video clips, the two videos are here, and we would like to thank, of course, our colleagues and collaborators, teachers, Ani Baroni and Florentina Marin, for all their support and contribution to this presentation. Now, let's see, Akshay, what we are going to do next time.
Next time.
Let's see. Okay, so next time we are going to talk about
Future tenses, great.
future tenses, will for 6th grade, and promises, offers, and requests for 6th grade 2, and past tenses
For the 8th grade.
for the 8th graders.
Great, that sounds interesting, Gabriela.
Okay, we'll see, good. Now, children, I think you've learned something today about rules, about conversion rules and tenses. And I think you will see you next time in this lesson together with teacher Akshay. Have a nice day. Goodbye. See you next time.
Goodbye and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.